and currently an Olympia City Council candidate. Welcome, Renata.
Thanks, Rosalinda. Thank you to you and to all the organizers who made this event at the park and the march and our gathering here possible. I know as an organizer, this is a huge feat to pull off, so thank you so much. And thanks. So hello family, hello queer family. My name's Renata Rollins. I'm running for Olympia City Council, and I'm running because as a queer woman, as someone with invisible disabilities, as an organizer for homeless rights and safety, I've been inspired what happens at the city and beyond when we change who's in the room, who's at the table. And as much as this campaign and this moment in our community is about the big issues we all care about, housing and homelessness, police accountability, racism, white supremacy, what's happening in our downtown, what's happening to our sea level, this campaign specifically is about centering the marginalized voices who've been outside for too long, sometimes literally. And maybe this isn't so much true of this crowd because a lot of us experience marginalization, but I do always like to make it a point to say that when we're bringing in marginalized voices, that's not just because it seems fair or for some kind of notion of diversity or tokenization. It's because when we have as much wrong in our system and in our community, and yet we have as much potential as we do, the only way we're really going to reach that potential is by centering the voices who haven't been heard. By centering the voices and the perspectives who have suffered the most from the injustice. The issues that we face as a community are queer issues. Homelessness is a queer issue. I'm so glad that Rosalinda brought up the statistic that 40% of especially young people who are homeless are LGBTQIA. Housing affordability is a queer issue. I've had time in my past where I wasn't able to make rent, and I was fortunate that my family of origin allowed me to stay with them for over a year. Not all of us have that privilege. So housing affordability and housing access is a queer issue. Yeah. Racism, white supremacy, Islamophobia are queer issues. Yes. Police accountability is a queer issue. Yeah. Ableism is a queer issue. Yes. Immigration and sanctuary are queer issues. And you better believe that transgender justice is a queer issue. So the theme today is unity, but it's important, it's always been important for me to remember, and I think it's important for us to remember that unity and uniformity are not the same thing. Yeah. And I hold this vision, actually largely crafted at Pipe, which Rosalinda founded. This vision for what Martin Luther King and others have called the beloved community. And that's one where we don't reach it just by sitting in a circle and singing Kumbaya and pretending that everything's okay. We go through the hard work. We go through not just the reconciling, but the reckoning with our histories that have been painful and and marred by oppression and violence, and to really allow ourselves to heal, again, by centering the marginalized voices. When I think of the beloved community, I guess I think of the metaphor of a human body, any human body where it's functioning well and in harmony, the best that it can, but that's not because every cell in the body looks exactly the same or is doing the same function, right? If the body was all like spleen cells, it would just be a spleen. And so, the beloved, each of us is a world unto ourselves. We're all unique, and we have unique function in our organized communities, right? That's what that word means. And what we want to see is a world where all of our worlds fit somehow. A world where many worlds fit. To close, I'll first say election is August 1st. Ballots go out July 12th. So that's really soon. So if you're not registered to vote and you've never cared about a local city council, do we have a booth? Voter registration booth? Right here. Okay, yeah. The folks from Our Revolution are registering voters, so please take a moment to do that, because as screwed up as things are federally and as much work as there is to do on the national level and the state level, we have a lot of power at the local level and accountability at the local level. And I'm running because I'm part of a lot of communities that I know are going to hold me accountable. I certainly hope they're going to. So please vote. I'll close with a piece that I wrote for Trans Day of Visibility, and I was kind of debating whether I was gonna change the word trans to the word queer, but I'm just gonna keep it at trans, because I think that's really where the largest gap is in justice and equity for all. Today is Trans Day of Visibility. Love to the trans community. Love to trans people, past, present, and future. Love to trans people who are out and proud. Love to trans people who are out and scared. Love to trans people who are unseen and unrecognized. Love to trans people who are closeted in parts of their lives. Love to trans people of color. Love to trans workers. Love to trans women and trans feminine people. Love to trans women of color. Love to trans people who are homeless. Love to trans people who are non-binary. Love to trans people with disabilities. Love to trans people who are children. Love to trans people who are elders. Love to trans people whose gender is misunderstood, especially by those who consider themselves allies. Love to trans people who will never get to be visible. Love to trans people for every day you survive. I can write the word love over and over again, but the work is for the landscape to be tended in such a way that everybody knows that love is mostly not a word. Thank you.